Shalom Yasha Allah. First and foremost, we get all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, the honors to our apostles and elders, a great millstone, who rule well, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect that pushes the great gospel in sincerity and truth. This your brother Tazakai Yahweh from the great millstone, Indianapolis camp. Coming at you another lesson through the spirit of power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, and Lord willing to be edified. Got an article here from it says HeraldScotland.com, and it reads, Bionic Banking. It says Bionic Banking. Are you ready to put a payment charagma inside your hand? All right, and this came out. So when I got to the article, it's not saying the year, but the day is April 12th, 2022, the year Yahweh Bashim Mashai turned it up. All right, and they say Lee majors in, charagma, so, should know what that word means as it's coming out. You can't say certain things. But going on, it says, forgotten your bank card. Is your phone out of charge? Don't worry. You can still pay for that coffee. Just use your hand. A British-Polish company, Walletmore, has launched the first charagma that can be inserted under the skin and then used to make contactless payments. It has sold more than 500 of such charagmas. A charagma under the skin, that sounds really icky, no? Any ickier than a pacemaker is actually not a new development. Kevin Warwick, emeritus professor at the University of Reading, became the first human to host a charagma back in 1998. Salaki. So, of course, this technology doesn't been around, it doesn't been around. You can go back even before when they start putting the dogs, and also this type of device has the signal that'll be used to be, as that goes into what they call UAVs, the spy planes and stuff like that. So this technology goes back to when they started making those, even before. So just give a little history on that. So it says, so all I gotta say, it's June, Ain't no, charagma, but yeah, you gotta say that because you got some people out there still believing that this is sci-fi, but at the end of the day, it's actually prophecy that comes out of the scriptures. Lord willing, we get that once we get to the end of this. It says, but since last year, Walmart have been selling implantable payment charagmas, which you can use to carry out contactless payments in the supermarket or at the garage. How does it work? In exactly the same way as when you use your phone to make a payment, right? So it's going to be convenient. And then not only up here when it was saying like any ickier than a pacemaker, see how they try to contribute to things that are already used for medical uses or for health issues, whatever the case may be. Will you use those? So will it be so different from using this? You know what I'm saying? That's how they're going to condition the people. Not only condition the people with, just saying those things and having just, athletes or, whatever, like lesser luminaries, those, figures that's seen as idols. They're going to have use those people to convince you and ultimately condition you by saying, well, hey, as the scripture say, man, if you don't get this, then you're not able to do this, that, A, B, or C. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people say that they won't do it, but when that day comes, if they don't have the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai on them, they will fold. So it says, how does it work? In exactly, what did I read? In exactly the same way as when you use your phone to make a payment. Walmart used near field communication, NFC, which is pretty much, like I said, the British Polish. That's the, pretty much the Eastern Hemisphere counterpart of the RFID, which is over here. So it says, which is also used in smartphones. Debit and credit cards using alternative tech, radio frequency identification, or RFID. How micro is micro in this case? The Walmart charagma weighs less than a gram and is slightly bigger than a grain of rice. This is typical of charagmas and that are inserted under the skin. Do you mean there are more of them? Yes, certain European countries are a little further down the line when it comes to this kind of human tech crossover, right? In Sweden, for example, thousands of people have had charagmas inserted into their hands. They provide access to homes, offices, and gyms. It can also be used to store emergency contact details, social media profiles, or e-tickets for events and rail journeys. In Sweden, people have been hosting charagma parties. You know what I'm saying? So Over there, it's a normal thing, right? And they tell you Sweden is one of those countries that was hit the least, by the crown and so forth. So when they're saying what they had on their bodies was, acting as a great deterrent of it, as they say, whether the case may be. But again, they're going, like I said, it's gonna be, they're gonna condition you with telling you that all these things is good. Is hey, why have keys? Why have a phone? Why have this? Why have this? Where you can have all these things sealed right underneath your skin that you'll never lose. It says makes a change from tattoos to piercings. I suppose. Are there any concerns? Well, yes, of course. People have raised security concerns over the idea of us all having personal information literally to hand or literally in hand. However, proponents argue that a payment charagma is the equivalent of the fob in your car keys. That said, perhaps it is only a matter of time before we store our bank records and our entry codes beneath our skin. Right? It says, this is all a bit sci-fi, isn't it? Isn't it just, it won't be long before the Bionic Man and Woman won't be just an old TV series, and it might not even cost $6 million. Time for a Lee Majors, comeback, right? And like I said, I actually seen something on this Walmart company before. At the point in time, they were saying that they would sell them for like $300 a pop, or some companies were. Then you got some companies say they only sell them for like $13 and some change, right? So we know that's going to be made affordable, or if not, even when that cap time period come, it could be made free. They'll say, because we understand, as the prophecy says, and we're gonna get it right now. There's gonna come a point in time where the whole world is gonna be tried for this, right? And as a matter of fact, right? Yeah, I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get that right now. Salakia. This is Revelation chapter 3, verse 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, right? So it's ultimately talking about the elect who kept, pretty much kept this truth. They, endured to the end. They stayed faithful, unto death, suffering and so on, right? So since you, been faithful to Yahweh Shemel Shai by keeping the word of his patience, he say, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, right? He's going to keep you from that time period, meaning what? He's going to put the spirit in you to reject this time period that's going to come to everybody, around the world, because it says, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Now, you get that word world, I believe I know it's oikomeni. Where it go? Damn, I passed it. Slacky. There it is. And which, goes into Slacky, the inhabitant earth. So everybody that inhabits the earth, is going to come a time period where it's going to be they're going to make a decree that, hey, you must receive, this device in order for you to buy and sell. Now, verse 11, it says, behold, I come quickly, hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. So ultimately, hold on to the faith of Yahweh Shemel Shai. Hold on to the things that we've been taught, and ultimately, the Lord has the spirit in us to, remain faithful, unto even if it had to be unto death. But ultimately, he said, if you keep the word of his patience, he's going to keep you from the hour of temptation. And we know the only ones that he's going to keep from the hour of temptation is the elect of the nation of Israel. Vocab always speak about the body of believers, but they ass through. And like I said, the only true believers are Israelites. So you may have some of Jakes that still in Christianity, and then, hey, while we getting closer to the end, they may break from that and then come into the true full-fledged, and hey, then that's gonna be them. So they're gonna become a part of the body of the true believers, which is the Israelites. You get what I'm saying? But if not, like I say, as far as you heathens, and then 2/3. Man, even the heathens and the 2/3 who don't take it, you still gonna be allotted for destruction and judgment if you're not of the elect of the nation of Israel. Again, we gotta specify that, of the nation of Israel. That's who the elect come from. Matter of fact, Isaiah 45, chapter 4. For Jacob, my servant's sake, right? Jacob is interchangeable with Israel or Yasha'Allah, right? My servant's sake, in Israel, mine elect. So the elect come from Israel. I have even called thee by thy name, and I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known me. So the only nation that can be considered the elect, or who has the elect of Yahweh Shemel Shai, is the nation of Israel. Right? Get back to this point. Cause this is where all roads lead down to this run situation right here. Everything that's going on, supply chains, shortages, supply chains and disruptions, shortages, inflation, hyperinflation, all these things going on. With the uproar, everything is going to come down and boil down to this Caragua that's going to be instituted to the rest of the world, to the whole world, right? Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. And he calls of all, right? Calls of all, both small and great, right? Rich and poor. So, hey, small and great, whether if you're known or you got some notoriety or, you're famous or you're not famous or whatever the case may be, or rich or poor, whether you got a lot of money or if you don't got enough money, free or bond. You got people who locked up, in double bondage, in prison, these prison cells, or say you out here, in the so-called sense of having freedom, right? Free and bond, right? Everybody gonna get calls to do what? To receive, a mark or that's charagma in their right hand or in their foreheads, right? And we go to that term. Which it says, a scratch or etching. So this is a physical thing that's going to happen to you. A sculpture figure, a graven, a mark, say a stamp and printed mark of the mark stamped. They go off on the foreheads and on the right hands of the back and the badge of it's like a mark that's branded upon horses. Since a thing carved. So what are they gonna do? They also, but while you receiving this, gonna be another sin by what? Having your flesh cut into. That's another sin against your by Shemal Shai. So you got to commit that sin and then commit the sin of even taking it, because that means, you're making Esau Edom your God. That's who you're going to stay upon. That's who you're going to lean upon. But the scriptures say that the remnant shall no more stay on him that smote them, right? So the elect are not going to stay on this man or depend on this man or even trust in this system or this country and nothing. That has nothing to do with your by Shemal Shai. The elect they're not going to fold, because the Lord's going to put the spirit on them to, be 10 toes down for the truth, for your by Shemal Shai. Lord willing, we be of that number, right? And it says that no man might buy or sell. So if you don't have this, you will not be able to buy or sell, save, or less he that had the Karagba or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So if you don't, pretty much give your allegiance to Esau Edom, then what? You're going to be out here, be out here left to dry, so to speak. You'll be cut off, cast out as an outcast. But see, that's the thing. Now, like I said, we know the elect not going to take it. We okay with being that outcast to society. You know what I'm saying? We understand that the world hates us any damn way. So we don't want to be a part of this, this oppressive ass nation, this system, we don't want to be a part of this. But as far as everybody else who just dwelling carelessly, don't know what's going on, bugged out in the dark, when this time period comes and when you get faced with that predicament, damn, I'm hungry, I'm stuck, my stomach growling, but they say I gotta get this thing underneath my skin or my forehead, whatever the case may be. What you gonna do? Y'all ass is gonna break. You 2/3 you heathens, y'all gonna break. And like I said, the ones who don't take it, well, shit. Hey, you shoulda, because if you allowed this to be destroyed, you shoulda took it. You know what I'm saying? At least ease yourself until you do die, But at the end of the day, we understand that Yahweh Shemashah is going to preserve and keep his elect from the hour of temptation. And if you really got to die for it or not, hey, you still going to be good in the eyes of Yahweh Shemashah. So this where all roads leads to is, the MOTB. And y'all know what that is. So, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. To sincere Akinwa Akwaf out there listening. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakakwadash, double honors to our apostles and elders, a great millstone who rule well, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect that pushes great gospel in sincerity and truth. Shalom, Yasha Allah, Abai Babal.